Poor showcase on Sunday Night Football. Extremely poor display from the offensive side of the ball, particularly from the quarterback position and the offensive coordinator. Play calling left a little bit to be desired there. Would be an understatement. But we're going to dive into this game. But, obviously as viewers of the game, we have a couple days from there. You get some retrospect, take a look at it, distance yourself from the full emotion. I bet some people are a little bit more emotional still. I feel like Amere's going to have a nice charged episode. I will be charged as well as we get into some of this information here. But, how are we feeling after watching that game, Amere?
I'm not going to lie. I was disgusted. Disgust is the word to put it. It's like you got the Ravens gaining on the Steelers in the divisional race. The way they're playing, I don't even think they're going to finish second in the division. Not last, but not second. So that puts them at third. But I don't know. It's not looking good. Not looking good at all. They need to right the ship fast. That point blank period.
And I don't know if they have the coaching staff to do so.
Hey, coaching staff, keep that in mind for later.
But looking at these standings right now, Steelers are still in first. I don't think that's going to last much longer. But Steelers are 5-4, Ravens 4-5. Interesting, they started 1-5. Bengals 3-6, Browns 2-7. So you have the top three spots within two game difference there. So essentially, this division is wide open. Typically, it's wide open in a different sense with how competitive and good these teams are. Now it's just like which one can be the best of mediocrity. Yeah. And Joe Burrow's on his way back. Luckily,
I think December
we play them Sunday with Joe Flacco, even though that's still scary from the last run-in we had with the Cincinnati Bengals on Thursday Night Football.
Got torched.
I have no faith in the Browns making any sort of – maybe if they, put Shedeur in, I guess, just because it's something different. I don't think he's any good, but Dylan Gabriel's not anything spectacular as well. So
he didn't put up too bad of a game
I think he'll be a good, career backup, bridge QB type deal.
Or, fringe, starting QB.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey.
Like a Josh McCown. Granted, Josh McCown had a bigger
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Arm. Yeah. Fitzpatrick had a bigger arm, though, and he was bigger.
He did. Or you can even I want to go with Darnold. Darnold bounced around to a few teams before, start looking really good out in Seattle. So, we'll see. We'll see. Keep tabs on Mr. Gabriel.
Yeah, and, Steelers QB situation.
I don't know what to think of it. I just think they're in a really bad spot at the quarterback situation, and I think this goes back to Big Ben being selfish in his final years of his career and not retiring when he should have retired and trying to, thug it out at the end of his career. I think the Steelers, that was prime quarterback taking for the Steelers.
Here's where I think that doesn't matter. Granted, actually, before I get into that, Tomlin would, with Ben retiring earlier, it'd just be like the last couple seasons, but for a longer amount of time, in my opinion. Unless there were a late, quarterback taken. When would be a good time for Ben to retire, like 2018?
Well, I think the season after that injury.
His Seahawks injury? Was that 2020?
I'm not exactly sure, because 2020 is the year they went 11-0 and stunk it up.
It was 2019.
Yes, that was when Duck Hodges was there, right? I believe so.
So now I'm looking at what are some quarterbacks taken from the 2020 draft to now, and is it any that would have been worth taking in the late first round? Because that dude, Mike Tomlin, he can't. Oh, Jordan Love. Round 1, pick 26. I don't think Hurts would have the assets around him to be successful with the Steelers.
I wanted Hurts in general. I wanted him in that draft, but obviously the Steelers didn't go.
Nothing from 21. Only person from 22 was Brock Purdy. 23, you got like Will Levis, but we took Kenny Pickett. So, anyways, the only like quarterback they could have taken if Big Ben retired a little earlier was probably Jordan Love. But how successful we've been thrown into the fire of Mike Tomlin and how he treats quarterbacks.
That's true.
Especially young quarterbacks.
I feel like
don't turn over that ball.
The young QBs are. He's like that one onk who just is angry for no reason whatsoever. That's how I can describe Mike Tomlin.
Hey, they were. There's a fine line in drinking wine and squashing grapes, per the soothsayer Mike Tomlin. And guess what? It looks like they've been squashing grapes more frequently these days.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the brand of football they play, and especially with a conservative offense, is what they call, there's always going to be a turnover here and there. And technically, their schematic, plan is no turnovers on offense, and we need to force something on defense so we can figure it out. And turnovers are mostly luck based.
Exactly. I feel like this defense can't rely on causing turnovers every single game. I mean, like you just said, it's luck based just about. But
you beat the Colts 27-20 with 6 turnovers. You should probably put up 40 in that game.
Oh yeah, and they didn't put up 40. Yep. But that's a whole nother. Those are issues that are arising over the season. The offense can't produce; they're stagnant across the board.
I do like that they suck now, rather than at the end of the season.
Yeah,
if they can go on a 4-game stretch, like winning stretch, end of the season, and they make the playoffs, I'll maybe feel a little bit better. I'd rather the collapse happen now than later. It just depends if they can fix this collapse. But we're going to get into some of these key takeaways from the games. Not like broad scopes, but I do have important key details of why this game went down the way it did. 2 for 11 on third down for the Steelers.
Unacceptable.
Aaron Rodgers, 16 for 31, 161, 1 touchdown, and 2 picks.
Awful.
And he missed at least 2 or 3 throws that could have changed the course of the game.
Well, can I just add on to that point real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I had a few points on Rodgers here. I was talking to you before the show about this. This is probably Rodgers' worst game whatsoever in his career. If Roman Wilson didn't get that late touchdown, garbage time touchdown, this would have been his statistical worst game in his career. And from what I saw, he was missing his reads. He was overthrowing balls. He had that big one in the beginning of the game to DK, overthrown, and I felt like that was a gut punch, especially since that drive was kind of stagnant already. That would have broke the game open. Pause. It wouldn't break the game open, but it would have gave him a little bit of a spark to keep going and something to build off of. So,
like, he had that Jonnu overthrow. I mean, he could have caught that, but DK, touchdown, overthrow. He missed that one to the flat on the left side. I forget who that was too.
There was one to Gainwell that he missed.
He just missed a bunch of throws. This might be he's getting.
I mean, is this the age catching up, or is it just one game?
I think it's just a bad game. It definitely wasn't supplemented by the play calling.
Yeah,
which I'll get into
Sounds
later.
Right.
Warren, 14 for 70, 5 a carry. That'll just be a little crumb for now. And then the defense, I honestly didn't think they were absolutely terrible. Guys like Ramsey, Duggar, and Queen played every snap on defense. And listen to this. Steelers, 52 offensive snap, 53. Chargers, 72.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, the offense cannot stay on the field. You can see that by the time of possession. They had 22 minutes of time of possession.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every week they're losing that time of possession battle.
And again,
that doesn't help the defense out because they're going to run onto the field every freaking 5 minutes.
And like what T.J. Watt said, is good defenses aren't on the field a lot. Well, it's hard to stay off the field when your offense goes 3 and out. 9 of 11 of the opportunities, or whatever. That's not specifically because they're non-conversion stuff, but they went 3 and out quite often. The offense looked like they were shot with a bazooka before the game or something. They got drugged. Someone slipped Rohypnol into their Gatorade before the game, whatever. But this, instead of the defense taking little pistol shots here and there, they were just constantly getting sprayed down with a freaking minigun throughout the game.
Dude, it's
Just getting beat up. 72 plays. Time of possession, Steelers 22 minutes, 25 seconds. Chargers 37 minutes, 35 seconds.
they almost got doubled. Which is
And
insane.
they only scored 25, which is pretty insane to me because with your defense being on the field for damn near half the game.
I wouldn't say it was a perfect game for the defense, but I
No.
can say that kind of shows you that the defense was trying, but the offense didn't give them any sort of help, which happens every single week.
If the offense could have put something together in the first half to, like, what was the first half score? Like
15-3. Don't get me started on that safety either.
Yeah, it was just offense played no help. If anything, obviously they were the detriment to the entire team, especially the defense with not giving them any rest. But we got our critiques here.
Can I start off first with
You
one?
can start with your critiques, yeah.
All right, so at least the offensive line looked a little bit shaky, I would say, this game.
Mm-hmm.
This was probably one of the first games this season where I would say they didn't play well. Not at all. But the biggest thing I would go with is, let me get like a little shout out to the Chargers defense. Obviously, they're a really quality group of players. Not a lot of big names on that defense, but they still played, and they outplayed the Steelers 100%. And I feel like the offensive line took a lot of that, kind of beating by that defense.
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers didn't have a lot of time, which didn't help his case at all. And you could obviously see that in some parts of that game, I just felt like the team on offense was overwhelmed. They didn't have a lot going. It's like they were being suppressed the whole entire time.
The Chargers did what the Chargers offense did what the Steelers offense should have done is get rid of the ball quick.
And I feel like
2.2 seconds.
people were praising Rodgers' quickness earlier on in the season, but I feel like that has kind of regressed a little bit. I don't know if that has to do with obviously the offensive line play or schematics here, but obviously I think that there could be a situation brewing. Maybe with Rodgers, he's going to start underperforming here. But that's kind of what I was looking at.
Rudolph's starting to warm up.
Hey, get Rudolph up and warming.
Rudolph warming up. You got Will Howard. How's your finger?
Hometown.
How's your finger, man? That's what he messed
And,
up, his finger.
Honestly, I would say the defense, they held their own. They weren't too dominant. They got a few sacks, but they held their own.
Mm-hmm.
They held their own.
James Pierre.
Hey,
He got smoked that one play where he got stiff armed to the ground. Other than that, he didn't look too bad.
I think he was listening to me slander the guy.
Maybe. But no, I'll bring this up early as we had this later in the rundown, but the Steelers did they just signed Asante Samuel Jr. He had like 6 or 7 visits planned from Saturday to how about that? Yeah. I love that. I definitely love that joke.
It's so bad. So bad.
But today he visited with the Bears, and his last visit would be tomorrow with the Steelers, but dude couldn't wait. Already signed with the Steelers practice squad. I expect him to get called up rather quickly, especially with Slay.
Yeah.
Slay's play and Slay's concussion.
Well, Slade seems to get hurt every single game. He's got. I think. He should
I don't
hang
know
it
if you
up.
heard this. The guy that did his spinal fusion surgery is the Steelers' doctor.
I did know that.
So I kind of had an inkling where, the Steelers had a slight leg up because not only do the Steelers have a full insight into his medical history and potentially where he's at, but also you're hey, this guy did my surgery. It went pretty good. He can be my doctor when I'm playing in the season, So that was a little interesting tidbit. So I had pretty good hopes with him coming in. But now I got my critiques. It was a little side tangent. Give Warren the ball, more snaps, something. He was outsnapped by Kenneth Gainwell.
Which makes no sense. This happened in, I think, the Jets game. They kept force-feeding Gainwell the ball, and he was getting stuffed.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned this last week, matter of fact.
And Tom was talking about it in the press conference today. He said, go to get Warren a break. We can give him the ball more if we convert more on third
I
downs.
did notice Caleb Johnson got a little bit more reps than he usually would, so I thought that was pretty encouraging to see.
People were hating him on the radio the next day, which I don't have an issue with Caleb Johnson. He just has the bad rep from that kick return.
Which, honestly, just let it go.
It was a long time ago. If anything, I'll talk about this later. Rodgers needs to stop playing hero ball. Most of those sacks, he's trying to extend plays and make something's not there. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Just put it down. You're too old to play hero ball.
I was going to say, he can't afford to shoot himself in the foot because he's going to end up getting hurt.
Yeah, he got concrete in his feet.
But
like whenever the pocket splits and there's that thing down the middle, dude would step up and then that guy would be like, oh, I know what he's doing. Get sacked immediately.
Right.
Stay within the construct of the play. And, I mean, I think it's what Rodgers is doing is based off of poor play design because a lot on these third downs, it looked like nobody was getting open. If you have in-breaking routes, granted on that there's that 4th and goal we throw to DK, if he had time, if he threw to, I think it was Freiermuth had an interior slant, he would have the first down easy. That is hero ball, throwing that impossible double coverage patch to DK, which I don't think he's the best jump ball receiver. You got GP over there, maybe you got a better chance, but GP's down there in Dallas.
Miss GP.
Yeah,
I miss GP.
At this point, I do miss GP. He's a little head case, but looking at
I don't even care about him being a head case anymore. I just want a quality team. But I had one more point to kind of add on to that. I feel like the quarterback play over the last few years for the Steelers has just been hero ball. Russell Wilson, hero ball. Mitch Trubisky, hero ball. Kenny Pickett, bad ball. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give Kenny some slack.
How about Justin Fields, running back ball?
That's Lamar. It's like, but not. See, I didn't hate Justin Fields, but obviously he was not the answer.
He threw for 76 yards on Sunday, and 52 of them was from a screen pass taken to the house by Breece Hall.
Dude, poor Jets.
Justin Fields is a dog, man. That'll lead me into Calvin Austin. That dude needs to reconcile on the bench, okay? That wonderful play that fully just lost the Steelers the game. Dude gets a wide open throw.
I was listening on the radio at that point.
Dude
right through his hands.
Dude freaking lets it get right through his hands. Pick.
That was rough.
What I've also heard is other snaps weren't very much to be fond of as well. So I said, play Raymond Wilson over Calvin Austin. He had that touchdown.
See, he's been picking it up
the
last few weeks. But, I wouldn't hate to see that. They're literally the same player, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Both short little guys moving around. But
Roman's a little bigger, better blocker. And Calvin Austin
gets rocked.
Fully sold the game he sealed selling the game with that play there. I also said, this will be brief. Call competent plays, quick passes, run the ball.
Honestly, I feel like it's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Just obviously, we're seeing what we're seeing, and the coaches are seeing something completely different. So, I understand kind of where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, we don't exactly know what's happening, but we know what will happen because this team's predictable. So that's kind of where I go with it. I kind of being in a professional sports environment now, I can understand the coaches are seeing things completely different from the average fan would. So that's kind of why I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, he needs to fix it because it's getting a little annoying.
Benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, the plays don't work, so that doesn't rest well with the fans. I said call up MVS.
That should happen.
Y'all need a spark, someone that can run fast.
And Rodgers knows him. Rodgers knows him.
You need some sort of explosion in this offense because it doesn't exist.
One thing
it could exist with if Jalen Warren got more snaps, but
one thing actually, no, I'm gonna wait till the next.
It's my last note.
Question.
Get more creative in the run game. You made the jumbo set. That's creative. Teams couldn't stop it for several weeks. What else can you scheme up to not be predictable?
There's got to be something.
Or essentially, be predictable but be unstoppable.
Yeah. Which that jumbo set was looking unstoppable, but you need to do it
Malu
more.
got injured. Then you got the potatoes in there. Pete ruined the first drive with the false start.
Yeah, when that happened, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But that's the one thing with the Steelers. I feel like when they find something that works, they don't stick to it. They just go back to what they were doing previously that didn't work. And then they're trying to figure out why they're trying to play hero ball on the final play of the game. You know what I mean? It never changes. It never changes. And it's not going to change until it gets...
It's just scared football.
They play like a word I can't say on here. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. That's it. That's it for my critique notes from this game. That's all. That's all I got.
I don't have a critique note, but I am ready for that.
Bonus tidbit.
I'm ready for that next. No, I'm ready for that one question.
Oh, that is a good question.
Oh.
Anyways, we'll fill some roster news in here. Steelers cut Juan Thornhill. I think he's had like 0 snaps in the past 2 weeks. And they cut him and signed Sebastian Castro to the 53-man roster. Steelers cut him end of preseason, trying to get him on the practice squad. Buccaneers poached him for their 53. They just cut him, so Steelers claimed him.
Should have got Shiloh Sanders.
No. Dude's a freaking like Twitch streamer now.
Dude, he's bad.
He's a Twitch streamer now. And then this next point was supposed to talk about Asante Samuel coming in for a visit, but he's already signed, so it doesn't matter.
Couldn't wait to come to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Said no one ever.
And now we have our one question here. I think it's an intriguing question to think about. I think it's not thought about often.
But
is this team worthy of trading for a receiver at the deadline? AKA, would it have mattered if they actually picked up a receiver too?
No, I don't think it would, because as you could see, the play calling has been abysmal. The offense has been stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any receiver. Maybe there's 4 or 5 receivers who could change that, but I don't think any receiver that we were linked to would change the fact that the Steelers' offense is stagnant and can't do too much.
Mm-hmm. You need like a true
You need like a Jay Jettis on that team. JSN.
You just need a true route runner
that
can get open. That's a lot of what I'm seeing with the issues with especially some of these route callings is like these guys aren't getting open.
Who's the receiver coach? Azani? Zach Azani?
I have no idea.
He's something like that.
I mean, not getting open comes with, schematics and play calls as well. But yeah, I don't think it would have mattered, especially with how non-aggressive this team is. Granted, maybe someone that came in could have allowed it, but if you traded for a guy like Jacoby Myers or Rashid Shaheed, I don't think it would have changed much.
No, not at all. But, and kind of going off of that, DK needs to be better. He needs to play better like the true, air quotation marks, number 1 receiver he is. Because from what I'm seeing, I'm just not seeing enough out of him for the money we are paying him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that large contract and he's not producing well. I don't know if he's not getting schemed correctly or he's just crap, but something's going on, and he just needs to perform better, point blank, period. I know he doesn't have the best supporting cast. He is getting doubled, but at the same time, I feel like a receiver of his caliber should be able to figure it out. Exactly.
Figure it out.
I mean, and looking back when AB, that guy's a nutcase now. Got arrested.
He just got extradited.
Yeah, he got extradited from Dubai. But anyways, when AB was getting doubled, we had Juju. Juju was, during that time, Juju was looking like a solid number 2 receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how that kind of opened up, other options on that offense when AB was getting doubled every play. But the Steelers have not had that since 2018, 2019. And it's slacking, and it's obvious as well. So they need to get together, especially this offseason. I'm low-key ready for it.
And you might have been able to go back to that if you kept George Pickens.
Anyways, is true.
Yeah, George Pickens, he's looking good down there. He's probably going to sign somewhere else out of Dallas. That'd probably be smart on his part.
Watch. He's going to be a 49er next year.
I don't think they got the good quarterback. He should go to Seattle or
if he goes to Seattle,
he should go to Seattle or Tampa Bay. Granted, they still got their guys there. If Chris Godwin and Mike Evans weren't on the Buccaneers, if it was George Pickens and Ibuka, that'd be pretty nasty. Baker Mayfield slinging
maybe stay anywhere down south in that kind of area.
Just leave Dallas.
Yeah,
you're not gonna win a Super Bowl there.
I feel like they're in the same. I feel like the Steelers are the Cowboys of the NFC. You know what I mean? That's just how I see it.
Similar levels. I just think the Cowboys are worse than the Steelers. They got geriatric Jerry.
So, okay, 1 second. Would you rather have Dak or Aaron Rodgers?
I'd take Dak Prescott.
Okay, me too, because I don't think Dak's a bad quarterback. It's just
he's not good in big moments.
Yeah, that's really the big thing.
Now, I'm curious to see how, if the Steeler team makes playoffs, how's Rodgers in this, once he gets in the playoffs, I know Rodgers has that clutch factor that Dak doesn't have. So I'm curious how that'll play out.
Me too.
If this team makes the playoffs, they got to get there.
Don't get me started on that. Playoffs. We're talking about playoffs? We need to play that audio clip every single week because I don't even know.
I said if they make playoffs. It's not guaranteed, Hot takes, Amere. I think you were hinting at some sort of idea of this earlier on in the episode.
Funny thing happened. Actually, I spoiled it earlier, but it's whatever. I had another one written down here, but just kind of thinking about things, recent trends this year in sports in general, college football. See a lot of firings, a lot of guys getting bought out. We saw that with James Franklin and Penn State. I feel like James Franklin and Mike Tomlin are the same kind of coach there. They might be really good motivators, recruiters, but they can't perform well, can't coach well. So I feel like if the Steelers want to, become a winning franchise again, it starts at the top.
Ownership.
Ownership. I feel like the ownership, they don't hold Tomlin accountable. They're like the yes man to Tomlin.
There was that report saying they're growing
unsatisfied with basically Tomlin.
With Tomlin's
I feel like
right now.
That won't happen this year only because of the NFL draft, and it's the Steelers. They're not going to do it, but I'm not really too fond of Arthur Smith. I don't really see too much improvement from Canada.
This honestly seemed like Matt Canada called that game last night or Sunday night.
This might seem crazy, but I think the last good offensive coordinator the Steelers had was Todd Haley, and that's saying something.
Low key.
I'd
the
saying
killer
something.
bees.
Well, I feel like anyone can do good
explosive,
bees, but
at least they were. I mean, that whole offense was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Curious what Arthur Smith would do with an offense like that.
People were complaining about the play calling back then.
Take a look now.
It's putrid, and I honestly feel like there's got to be a shakeup within the organization. They're too focused on preserving that tradition of having 3 coaches. Well, I'm sorry, that's not going to cut it when you have teams dogging you week in and week out. So I just feel like there needs to be a change.
I think
look at the Patriots.
A good look to take. Look at them Lions.
Oh yeah,
that coaching tree, but also Dan Campbell said, "I ain't liking this. I'm calling the plays." Yeah, he took the
initiative to actually want to see his team thrive.
Now,
Mike Tomlin
called a play
back on his behind.
First down, inside zone. Second down, I form stretch with the pitch in there. Third down, slants. Fourth down, punt. That's the Mike Tomlin drive right there.
Literally, it's so predictable. Like, I guarantee you, if I were to put $100 down on one Steelers drive, I'd walk out with $1,000. I guarantee it.
They're gonna punt.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look, spam 100, span 100. But yeah, it's just
they're gonna punt.
It's ridiculous. But
here is my hot take. I'm a decently optimistic guy.
Shouldn't be.
Hope is not lost. It felt lost on Sunday. I was a little pessimistic, but like I was saying earlier, it's earlier in the season. I think this team will make playoffs as a wild card.
Guess what?
They ain't winning the division. They'll pull a wild card and they'll play. I don't know.
Honestly,
here's what they should do.
What's up?
Pull wild card. If the Broncos keep sucking but winning, the Broncos stats are worse than the Steelers 11-0 season,
which is insane.
The fraud season. So if you can get lucky and pull, because the Broncos won't lead the division right now. If you can get lucky and pull the Broncos as a wild card seed, because I see the Ravens coming back and winning the division.
Yeah.
But if you can get that 10-7, you love that stuff. I see Rodgers being able to outduel Bo Picks over there. So
he sold the fantasy team, by the way, with his 5.8 points. Should have started Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
Didn't know how Danny Dimes would do over there in Berlin.
A-Chain and Jonathan Taylor.
They
put up a combined 95. So
what league are you in that someone has A-Chain and Jonathan Taylor?
10-person league. I don't know. A-Chain went late because he keeps getting injured. Yeah, good stuff. Fantasy's going good. I think I'm still like
I
tied
lost,
for
but
second.
I'm still chilling.
Yeah,
I'm in second place.
I'm like 4 and 6, and I'm still like upper part of my
See,
division right now.
Cam Scatterby getting hurt really hindered my team
Mhm.
because I was running 3 running backs per
Brian
week.
Dable got fired.
Yeah,
That's also news.
honestly, I thought that was a really bad decision on the Giants' part, but I get it. I get it.
I think they should have fired the GM before that.
I agree. I agree full-heartedly. Because that's what the Dolphins did. Dolphins fired their GM, and they squeaked out a win. Maybe the GM was the problem.
They'll fire McDaniel end of the season.
Yeah.
Then they'll hire like, I don't know, Nick Saban again.
Yeah, but actually, you know what?
They'll hire
Urban Meyer.
They'll hire Franklin.
Urban
man.
Meyer's going to come back. Actually, you know what? You're talking about James Franklin? I've been hearing things that he might go to Virginia Tech.
V-Tech.
If he goes to Virginia Tech, that's going to be
be
real interesting for the ACC.
They're gonna get good out of nowhere.
Well,
Because all the people that decommit from Penn State are just like waiting to see where he's gonna go.
I think that's exactly what they're doing, but this ain't no college football podcast now.
Yeah, I have issues with college football with the transfer portal, but
Though, I cannot wait for draft talk, though.
I know.
Can't wait. That's how you know I'm over the season.
Yeah, we got the. We'll see how that goes. We'll break down the quarterbacks and how they've been not doing so hot here recently.
That's rough,
But that is going to wrap it up for this episode here. We got the Bengals here on Sunday. I will get a little preview episode and going over some stats here before the game. That's going to be it. We will see you.
see you next week.